hopefully everybody can see me and hear me and the quality is good. Good morning. Sawadee ton chow, sawadee kap. Sawadee, sawadee. Thank you for joining me, those who are here already. Lots of people come in late every day. That's the way it goes. But today we're going to talk about the premium ANDAMAN. And I just stumbled onto this article, and this was just from yesterday. And also we'll be talking about some chowderhead issues. I'll be reading a couple of stories, be going over a couple of stories that happened in the past. I don't get many letters anymore from people who are chowderheads. Maybe that means there are less of them now. I don't know. The lighting's a little bad in here for some reason. Good morning, Jim. Good morning to everyone. Let's see how this works. Ooh. Maybe that's all right. I don't know. A bit brighter, eh? Good morning to everyone. Air quality, a somewhat good, although moderate, 83 here in my neck of the woods, exactly 34 baht to the dollar. Current temperature is 87, high of 96, low of 82, and the feel-like temperature currently is 99 degrees, 72% humidity. That's why I'm not out walking around. It's just too hot, man. You know, really. Remember something. I am in my 60s now. I'm an elderly man. I'm a senior citizen. And while I can go out and walk in the heat, you know, it takes a lot more out of me than it did, say, 30 or 40 years ago. And, you know, if there was something that I really wanted to go do at the moment, I would go do it. But you know, I always think about the pollution, the traffic, and then, oh, it's so hot, you know. So that's why I'm not out today. I'm sitting here in my lovely, humble office. And I got the worst arthritis. I mean, it is horrible, really. If you guys are getting older and you got arthritis, you'll know what I mean. My arthritis has just been acting up, and I know it has something to do with like lifting weights and grabbing and throwing stuff around, but you know, some of it has to do with being on the computer. Some of it has to do with breaking my hands before when fighting, and you know, just all kinds of stuff. So over the years, that adds up. The next thing you know, you got bad arthritis in your hands. But as I've said before, my buddy he used to be a plumber. And his hands are horrible. His hands are all gnarled up, and I mean, he's got to push them open, and they've got big knots on them, and so you know, it's not great, but I can work around it, and that's what I do. And of course, I'll be in the gym again today. I'm on the path. I'm obsessed with it. And, you know, sometimes I go, like yesterday, I go into the gym and I'm like, man, I don't feel like being here. Really don't feel, I'm not into it. I'm in pain. I'm sore still from yoga. You know, I've been doing all these things. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Just you're here, just do something. So I get into it. And, you know, what happens is after a couple exercises, you start feeling much, much better. And by the time I was done, I was like, man, I'm glad I did that. So I kind of feel the same way right now. And, you know, like I said, my hands hurt and everything. But I'll be there, you know, shortly, doing my thing. And then I've got a bunch of errands to do and, you know, the usual stuff. I just wanted to talk about something before I get into everything. You know, I just was talking the other day about, good morning, Dave the Dasher. Good morning to everyone. Was talking the other day about how the banks and airlines, they've really made it a pain in the ass to communicate with a human being. They've made it more and more difficult. And while it used to be, you push zero and it would go right through to a customer service representative, it's not that way, at least for me, where I've been calling any longer. And I had to make a transfer through my bank. I needed to transfer some money from my savings to my checking, as I often do. I just wanted to make that money available. So I go online. Now, I've done this 100 times before, but the last time I had a problem, and they were like, oh, yeah, we're a system and blah, blah, blah. They didn't give me a real answer. I'm like, okay, whatever. Just take care of it, please. So they handled everything, and then that night, everything was copacetic. So I go in today to make my transfer. I get the same freaking message. We're sorry. At the moment, we are unable to complete your transaction. And I'm like, I hope they're open because, they're on the other side of the world, so they may not be open. This is a problem when you live in Thailand and you're from the U.S. or an area in that same region or any other region that it can cause an issue with. So I call them up. I'm like, this sucks. I know I'm going to have to go through the whole rigmarole. And of course I do. I have to push, no exaggeration, probably 10 buttons. I try the whole representative. Okay, to further assist you, we need to find out what you want to deal with. Personal checking account. Transfer. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Transfer. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Please say it again. And by the time I get through to a representative, I'm like, I'm irritated. I'm sitting here for 15 minutes to do a 2-minute thing. So I say to the guy, hey, what's the problem? I'm trying to transfer some money. It should be easy. There's enough money. There's no problem. Let me transfer the money. Oh, let me see what I can do for you. Okay, it's done. I said, oh, okay. Now what I want to know is, why can't I transfer online? It's bad enough I can't use my app because they won't send, they send a little code. They won't send a code to my U.S. phone number because my U.S. phone number is through the Magic Jack. Now, that happens with some companies. They won't send it or you never get it. Whereas some companies, you do get it from them. I don't have any issues. But this, for whatever reason, it never gets through. So I can't use the app, so I go online. So now I'm online, and the guy says to me, oh, I see what the problem is, sir. I said, what is that? You're outside of the United States. I said, yeah, and I've made like 100 transfers in the past, and there's never been an issue. Yes, but you're outside of the U.S. I said, I understand that, and your bank is an international bank. Why is this a problem? I'm sorry, sir, but this is how it is. Hang on. Let me see if I can get some better audio. Okay. All right, hopefully the audio is a little bit better. Of course I have a VPN, but I've never had to use it in the past. Now, it's just irritating me because I'm like, listen, I understand if I'm not in North Korea. I'm not in one of these areas where it's a really high risk. This is not a high risk area. Thailand is not a high risk when it comes to banking. So the guy says to me, oh, let me see what I can do. He goes and talks to technical support. He comes back, yes, I'm really sorry, but it's because you're outside of the United States. I said, so what about the other 100 transactions that I've made? He doesn't know what to say. I said, listen, escalate this to your management. Let them know what's going on. Let them know I don't appreciate this. And if I want to transfer money, damn it, I want to be able to transfer the money. Even if I had to call in and just use the automated system, I would do that if I had to do it. But you can't do it. You have to speak to someone. We're sorry. You'll need to speak with a customer representative in order to facilitate this transaction. So don't ever get it twisted. Most of the companies out there, big companies, big banks, big travel agencies, airlines, these kind of companies, whatever it might be, pharmaceutical companies, they don't give two shits about you. All they care about is maximizing the profit. And it didn't used to be that way. It used to be, hey, let's give them a good deal for a reasonable price and everybody's happy and they keep coming back. Now it's, let's just bend them over and see how far we can stick it. What good is your bank account if you're not able to access it from anywhere in the world? Oh, well, if I go outside the United States, I can't take any money out. What? Now, if the thing is, they won't link my bank card to my savings account. They'll only link it to my checking account. Anyway, I don't want bitch. But that's how it is. Now, as I said, we'll be talking about this new premium Andaman, which I haven't heard anything about it. And guess what? An article came out, and no, this guy was, he sounded like an American. I mean, you know, sometimes I don't get, every once in a while I get somebody, you know, from India or something like that, but most of the time it's Filipinos. You know, and I always preface it with, hey, listen, this is not a personal attack on you, but I want you to understand and I want you to do something about it because I'm irritated. It's like you want to call up you want to call up Delta on the weekend here? Forget about it. You can't call them. There is no, if you try to call Delta Airlines to like purchase a ticket through the phone or just reserve a ticket and then go pay it somewhere, their office is not even open. You can't even reserve a flight. So, my ex-girlfriend's son works in a PI call center. Yeah, I don't like that, and you know, what are you gonna do about it? That's the thing. There's only so much you can do. I can change banks, and when I go back, one of the things that I'm going to do, as I've said, is Charles Schwab. I opened a Charles Schwab account about just before the pandemic. Then I went to Hong Kong and I didn't worry about it. Then I got a message, oh, you're going to need to come in and sign some papers and all this stuff. So I said, well, is there any way that we can do this online or anything? Like, no, you can't do it online. You have to come in. And I said, well, it's going to be a little bit tough because I'm in Thailand. And then, you know, when the pandemic hit, I couldn't go. And I've been waiting to go back, and they actually sent me a letter and saying, you need to sign this paper saying that you still want your account because it's been sitting here with the money in it, and if you don't sign this paper, we'll take your money. And I forget what they said they would do. It would go to the state or something like that. So I signed the paper. Everything's copacetic. But when I go back, I'm going to see what their policies are. I'm really going to get in depth with them, which is why I'm happy to go back and talk with them and go there to them because I just don't like the way that, you know, I mean, and they may not be any better, but I know that online you can do it quite a bit online and you can purchase stocks and do all kinds of other stuff. Anyway, Thailand launches premium Andaman to boost tourism revenue. Now here we go again. The government wants to boost the revenue and they say they're going to do things, and yet they need to raise the prices in order to do this, even though supposedly at some point the foreigners are going to be paying a 300 baht fee just to enter Thailand, which, you know, it's not much, I understand, but I'll be honest, I have my doubts about how that money will be spent. Not that it really matters what I think, but I have my doubts about that. All the money probably will not go to tourism. It won't go to medical insurance. And so they're going to raise the prices. And let me just read some of this article here. The Thai Minister of Tourism and Sports, Pipat Ratchakitpakan, which I've come to know this name because I've said it a million times, said that the ministry is gradually taking measures to develop the coastal areas of the Gulf of Thailand, and that the Andaman Islands, which cover a total of 3,000 kilometers and generated 1.2 trillion baht, 35,000 billion US dollars, 100 billion, well, that has to be trillions. So The project consists of 5 clusters as follows. The first area is the Eastern Economic Corridor, which consists of Chonburi, Rayong, and Chachoengsao. The project will cover 2 more provinces, namely Chanthaburi and Cherat, making a total of 5 provinces. This cluster is expected to bring in 340 billion baht, that's 9.94 billion US dollars in revenue, with an average expenditure of 3,081 baht per person per day. Now, I'll tell you what bothers me, not only about what they're doing, but also this article, is basically it just says, we're going to launch Premium Andaman, and these are the areas that we're going to that are going to be part of this process. It's already been finished, man. It's been finished since the end of March. And it wasn't a visa, it's a no visa entry, visa exempt, but that's been finished since March 31st. So here they are talking about this Premium Andaman and how they're going to boost tourism revenue, which means they're going to get more money. Okay, that's great if you're getting something for that extra money. And who knows, maybe they will fix things up. I don't know. I thought that that's what happened over the pandemic, that things kind of just got better because there weren't as many people soiling these regions. So let me continue. In 2020, the number of visitors, both Thai and foreigners, is recorded at 31 million, as the area is close to Bangkok and many expats live in this area. The ministry wants to develop the area on the model of industrial tourism so that visitors have the opportunity to visit factories similar to the city of Yokohama, where there is the Kirin beer plant and the museum of the instant noodle manufacturer Nissan. Thailand Riviera, located between Phetchaburi, Prachuapkhirikan, Chumphon, and Ranong, is the second destination cluster. These are all the places that I like to go. In 2022, didn't I just say that, Dave? I just said that. In 2022, this area had a total of 18 million people, generating 85 billion baht, 2.48 billion US dollars, or an average of 2,362 baht, $69 per day per person. This cluster has both mountains and sea. The ministry wants to develop more roadside stations and community complexes to sell products. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even know where to start with this. The third cluster includes 5 provinces in the south of Thailand, namely Phuket, Phang Nga, Krabi, Trang, and Satun. Last year, a total of 29 million people visited the area, resulting in a revenue of 600 billion baht, almost twice the money generated in the EEC area, with an average expenditure of 4,800 baht per person per day. It is the highest spending area amongst the 5 clusters, and the ministry wants to make it the Premium Andaman, as it can be sold more expensively, and focuses more on quality. Why aren't they focusing on quality right now? Or they don't have enough money. Oh, really? Why not? Phuket is not an inexpensive area to stay and to be a tourist. It is one of the more expensive places. So I don't know what they're doing. This is what gets me. Listen to this. The Gulf of Thailand cluster, which includes Surat Thani, Nakhon Si Thammarat, Patalung, and Songkhla, is the 4th cluster. Now, Surat Thani is where my wife is from, is where we have that little place down near the jungle. And, you know, it bothers me to hear that the prices in this area and in Krabi, they're going to be rising because, you know, they got to get their money back. And in 2022, 18 million people visited these provinces, resulting in a turnover of 180 billion baht, 5.2 billion US dollars, which is an average of 2,861 baht, $83.60 per person per day. The main selling points for this region are nature tourism, okay, and faith tourism, which means religious tourism. And this is the one that gets me. The last cluster is the coastal region in the southern border provinces located in Pattani, Narathiwat, and Yala. In 2022, 1.6 million people visited the area, resulting in revenue of 7 billion baht, 204 million US dollars, an average of 2,264 baht, $66 per person per day. The ministry will give the provinces a new image. What's the matter with the image they have now? I mean, you know, aside from it's an area where people don't want to go because of bombing. What, now everything's okay? You know, this is what I mean, though. It's the government, they just want more money. Bring us more revenue. Let us spread the revenue to the local governments, and let us get the kick up. I don't see what they're going to do. Honestly, I want to know what they're going to do. And there is nothing about exactly what they plan on doing, aside from we want to make little roadside places where we can sell more products. Just what they need. Most people don't want, listen, I never stop at those roadside places. Once in a great while, I may stop and my wife wants to buy something that's unique to that region, and she'll buy like a bag or two of something. It might be banana chips, durian chips, whatever it is. But it's I can't believe it. I mean, maybe the Chinese are stopping and they're buying everything up. I don't know. The ministry will give the provinces a new image and is ready to help the young generation of locals build their towns. So, yeah, I don't really know how I feel about this, because I don't feel very good about it, to be honest. Do these regions have any say in it? Have they been discussing that? Well, nobody said anything about that. It's not in the article. Specifically, what are they going to do to change the image of the Deep South? The Deep South, where people are told not to go because it's too dangerous. Where my wife has told me, oh, if you go to Pattani, you might end up dead. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll take that chance. I mean, we have there's durian sold in our village. We can walk a block away and buy some durian, and it's good stuff. It's not, you know, the low grade stuff. They have medium grade and really good stuff. Just enjoyed a beautiful and delicious pad thai with chicken that the wife cooks. It's always nice. I haven't had any pad thai in forever, and boy, I'll tell you what, I miss it. This is the direct result of the Thai yes boss culture, never being able to tell the boss something that isn't a good idea. Yeah, because if you tell them something, you know, and they don't like it, you risk losing your job. Trying to make up all those unofficial taxes they lost during COVID under the guise of official taxes. I ran up Citibank once, PI call center, asked for the usual ID, then asked for my password. I said, no way, I'm giving you no password. Yeah. I just enjoyed a snag sandwich. I don't know what that is. Arun. So I said that, what? Gennaro, don't speak Thai, please. If you're gonna, write it in Thai, not phonetic Thai. Good day, my LA mate. We only stop at roadside places to buy durian. I mean, there are a few things once in a great while where we stop, but most of the time I don't want to stop. I'm going by. I'm like, I don't want to stop that shithole. If there's a place to eat, maybe we go in and we eat. Recovering from a night out to my favorite venue, Lutot Katiam. I've decided I'm going to start a YouTube channel, a bogan, a bit. Okay. We've stopped at the roadside stalls for durian, coconut, melons, and all sorts of fruits, plus a few personal stops for me. Yeah, I never stop at those places for. Yeah, I understand that, but why are you writing in Khmer here? It makes no sense. So, and I figure you can't write in Khmer. You can write phonetic Khmer. And actually, one of the what did you write here? Suicidai, suicidai. I think that's got legs. Anyway, you know, I know I'm jaded. I admit it. But who won't be jaded when it comes to governments and this kind of nonsense? That's what it is. It's nonsense. Let's raise the prices. Yeah, that way you can get more people to cave in and pay ridiculous prices in a place it does not deserve to be. I'm sorry. At this point, it does not deserve to be a high revenue destination. Thailand doesn't deserve it yet. Now, Phuket is one of the few places that maybe could pull it off, but I think, man, they need a lot of work. I mean, do you really think that people who are high income people really want to go and, yeah, I don't know. Give me a no idea, and I don't care, fire dude. Jimmy crack corn, Scotty crack corn, and I don't give a flying, because I can't do anything about it. And all that matters is who comes out the bunghole, and are they any good or not. Younger probably is better than older, though. These old, and it's the same in the United States, these old Pelosi, Schumer, Maxine Water type of hags, they are not good for the country. They're just not. Certainly not good for the United States. Don't get me started on the United States. Every time I see anything about the United States in the news, it's always extremely negative. It's never anything positive. And, I'm going to say it again, and I don't really care what anybody thinks, but the fact that they're discussing things in the United States like gender identity, and that's such a big deal to people, it shows they don't have their priorities. They don't have it right. They have not prioritized. Why don't you take care of health care? Why don't you take care of Social Security? Instead of worrying about that bullshit. Nobody cares. You know who cares? The few people that have decided to do the SNP or not do the SNP or whatever it is. And I saw about I saw about this law that was passed in the House about how, what is it now? I got to get it straight because it's confusing to me because I haven't had to think this way all my life, because in my life there's men and women. That's all there is. And that's all there is now. And it irritates me that I have to think, oh, don't say it that way. I don't identify that way. I don't give a fuck how you identify. You're a man or a woman. You can be a dude acting like a chick. But that doesn't mean you can go over and box with women. If that's the case, then how about men identifying as women go over and box, or women identifying as men go over to the men's sport, division, whatever it might be, and fight the men? How about, I saw this thing, I don't know how we get on this, but, I start thinking about it, and then it's like, I'm off. There was some debate going on, and it was on YouTube, and it was, these two, I think they were local people, but they were talking about how it was only, this thing is only, this identity thing really is targeted at high school students and college students. And then the guy said, well, listen, if Mike Tyson, when he was young, identified as a woman and went in and wanted to fight women, would that be allowed? Oh, that's an extreme case. That doesn't really happen. And oh, bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Sorry. That kind of shit puts me in a... It's stupid. That's what it is. I don't care if you can be whoever you want. And you know what? I would hope if Scotty ever decides to become Rebecca, Susie, I'm Susie now, I would hope that at least people wouldn't beat the shit out of me. Because, you shouldn't do that. Keep your hands off people, let them do. Mind your own fucking business. That's what you got to do. Mind your own business. Don't worry about it. It doesn't affect you. Now, if they go into the school and they want to teach and they want to dance and give lap dances, okay, then that's, that shit don't fly with me. I'm glad my kids are almost out of school. And I hope they never get into those kind of situations where they're like, oh, because they're going to be dumbfounded. They have no idea, Anyway, let's get back to, let's get down to business. I wonder if I'm going to get demonetized for that. Them, they should only be used for conjoined twins or a group of people. Why was how come the language has been set up and it's been used for hundreds and thousands of years now? Or hundreds at least, we'll say. Nothing. I'm in a good mood. I just start thinking about these subjects, and they're so stupid, so ludicrous, and they're wasting so much taxpayer money that and you know what I think about? What about all the homeless? What about the people in the United States, of all places, that are starving? What about the people in the United States that can't get health care for a reasonable amount? And I mean reasonable. The prices are going up. I sent out a message yesterday, and it showed something about this is in the UK. And you got demonized 10 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, in the UK, the prices have been rising steadily ever since the pandemic, and now it's something like they like if you're paying $1,000 before, now you're paying $1,500, and so it's really putting a strain on people. And it's happening here in Thailand. Don't let it fool you. My water prices are never under 500 baht now. My water bill. It's never under 500. It's almost always 600. It used to be 350, 400, maybe 450. Now it's always 550, 570, 620, whatever. Okay, that's not much. That's, you're talking about $20, $15. Electric bill, I've already griped about that. So prices are going up. Food prices, forget about it. Food prices have gone up, man. Talk to anybody, and they know food prices have gone up. So for all those youngsters out there, all those young bucks who are like, oh, I'm going to come over to Thailand, I'm going to eat Thai food. If you eat Thai food, you can get by on 30 baht a day. Yeah, okay, come over here and do that there, bucko. Let's see you do that for the next 20 years. And first of all, you ain't going to get anything. You will almost never get anything for 30 baht. McDonald's coffee went up 29% early this year. Things go up here that much all the time. Yeah, so don't kid yourself. All you youngsters out there, don't kid yourself. Now, today, first of all, before I continue to go on, our water bill's about 300 baht when we were there. Electricity was 3,000. Internet is 630 a month. So tax the Salvation Army and similar charities want sex. I think it's something like, I think Jono told me it's like $150 or something, but maybe it includes a caddy, and then you have to tip the caddy, something like that. I'm not positive. I'm sure you could find it online, but I think that's what he told me. And I did call him last night, but he didn't answer, so I'm sure I'll talk to him later today. Uh, also, 2Q Asia. I guess he's just chilling. He says he's all right. Everything's okay. So, you know, I don't mind Katoys being Katoys as long as they aren't demanding parades and special months. My favorite server at this one, we treat her as a listen, I don't have anything against them. I really don't. What I do have a problem with is forcing me to acknowledge that it's identity equals sex. Well, I think I'm I think I'm a lady. So that makes me a female. No, it doesn't. And it's so funny because you see these guys going, when's a man ever become pregnant? Oh, it's happened. No, it hasn't. Show us. This is the thing. So, whatever. Johnny Sam gone back to work as a, What? Andy Travels, Johnny Siam, gone back to work as a chef. No. Anyway, before I continue, I know I can be a little out there sometimes and not always be focused, but maybe that's half the fun, just to see where I go off on, what tangent I go off on. Do me a favor, if you will, if you like this channel, if you like what I'm doing, click the thumbs up, subscribe, hit the join button, and become a member of the channel. Follow me on Rumble. Things will happen eventually. I've only got so much time in the day, and but they are going to happen. Check out my website, AmericanInBangkok.com. Get one of my books. Here's one of them right here that I'm going to be reading a little story. It'll be story time. Ooh, I should call this stream story time. Pick up some merch. Get your hat. Where's my hat? There's that one hat I have over there. I'm still going to get the war hat and the peace hat. So go to AmericanInBangkok.com if you just want to buy me a coffee, because right now I don't have a coffee. I've already had my coffee early in the morning, and I just haven't had a chance to make another cup. You can buy me a coffee. You can use the Cash App. You can become a sponsor on YouTube, like I said. You can become a Patreon patron. You can check me out on Instagram. I'm most active on Instagram now. I don't have any of those. The only one I have is the ones that I knocked out. I did, Anyway, Instagram. That was a long time ago when I was a young man and I was undisciplined. Everything's down in the description. And you can also just keep watching, but I do appreciate all the contributions. That Chingo yesterday, thank you very much. That was very nice of you. So, Chingon, I think that's what it was. The Daily Mallon T-shirt, I still have to have that done. Man, I only have so many hours in the day, that's the thing. And I can tell you, by the time I finish streaming, doing a little bit of editing if I have time, if I have the energy, running errands, exercising, which is a big time drain, and then I come home and I've got to eat, and Mama is not here cooking for me, so I got to cook for myself. So that's it, that's something else. So I'm a busy man. By the time I'm done with that, it's like 5 or 6 o'clock, and then basically I lay on the sofa or I stretch out just to feel a little better, and then I don't do much for the next 2 hours, 3 hours. Let me just read this stuff before I go on here. I'm a longtime paramedic. If I ran a call on a man with a penis, it would not consider marriage, ovarian cyst, or uterine problems, no matter the size of his boobs or amount of makeup. There you go. When's the trip to Ireland? Andy Travels told me he's taking over the kitchen at a pub. Be right back. What about the trip to... It's coming, Gennaro. be patient. I said it was at the end of this month. It will be coming. The wife is going to the wife is coming to or going to the Blackpink concert, which whatever, as long as she's happy, that's all that matters. Good for her. I'm so glad that she's going to go see somebody that she really wants to go see. The last concert her and I went to was Oasis. And I went to Slash, and I've been to a bunch of other ones, but I saw Slash. And actually, there weren't that many people there, which was kind of surprising. I mean, it was pretty empty. Me and my buddy went, and it was great because we were right there in front of him, and he was, you know, just shredding away. Yeah, I will be going to. We're waiting now for the Irish visa for my wife, which is a bit of a hassle because, you know, it's the one thing that is stopping us from saying, okay, let's do more. Let's reserve some hotels. Let's, let's get on it. And but we are supposed to go to all these places. We've got the tickets and we're ready to roll. Thumbs up for Scott. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Appreciate that. Scott, you might want to post a travel agenda. Yeah, okay. Inquiring minds need to know. I don't really like, everybody knowing everything to the minute that I'm doing. Because, there are some people with less than honorable intentions. But yeah, I mean, I can put that up, and basically the way it works is at the end of this month, we're leaving. We go. I'll just say it real quick. I got to think about this. Bangkok to Abu Dhabi for like 3 hours. Abu Dhabi to Ireland, where we'll be for about 12 hours. So we're going to spend the day in Dublin. Dublin to Portugal, to Lisbon, where we'll be for, 5 days, 5 nights, something like that. And then we may go, if we can, we'll go down to the Algarves. I want to go down there and check it out. Down to that area. I'm not quite sure yet what we're going to do there. And then from there, we fly to Miami. Miami will be there for something like 8 days. And then we go from Miami to Ecuador, Guayaquil. From there, we're going to where my buddy lives, which is about 3 hours away. And then we go back to the States for like 5-6 days. Then from there, we fly to New York for, I think it's a 2-hour layover. And then we go to Amsterdam, where we'll be for 2 days. From Amsterdam, we go back to Portugal for, I think it's 3 days and 2 nights. And then we come back to Bangkok. We come back home. Good morning, everybody. What's up? What's up? What's happening, everybody? So there you go. That's the itinerary right now. And one of the things on my itinerary is to get the Daily Mallon t-shirt. But where's that other one? These are my 2 books. Eventually, one day I'll get the 3rd one done. They call me Farang. And this one. Ask Me Anything, letters from Phat Lang. So, let me just, I've got a couple picked out. I don't know how good some of them are because I just remember the names. There's one in particular. He's the guy who got me, he's the one, the Australian guy, sorry. And the guy was a bit of a nut job. Actually, that's the name of the chapter, The Nut Job. But this chapter is Charlie is definitely not in charge. Charlie. Dear Scott, I watch your YouTube videos regularly and I find them to be very informative. Like you, I currently live in Bangkok. I've written with the hopes My letter will either be replied to you or be the basis for one of your videos. Perhaps something like, living with a bar girl, how do I escape her and move to another apartment without bloodshed? Oh, I remember this. Jesus Christ. Do I really want to read this? Okay, I'll read it, but I've been living with a very popular bar girl from Sukhumvit Soy 4 in Nana Plaza for the past year and a half. Well, there you go right now. You're a dumbass. You are a chowderhead. I don't care what she looks like. You're an idiot. Most of these chicks, they got issues. And I'm not talking about issues, like you get a little irritated or you're a grumpy bastard, something like that. I'm talking about they got some serious issues, some of these girls. They're hooked on the yaba. They're alcoholics. They're drinking every night, whatever it might be. And I'm not saying all of them, so just don't get carried away. Oh, Scott, you talk shit about all of them. No, I'm not talking shit about all of them. I'm just telling you the facts. Now, they're not all like that, but there's a reason why they're there. First of all, it means their family probably doesn't have money. So that's why they're there, to earn money for themselves and for the family. Whoa, crap, cool, am I being Anyway, she was smitten by my lovemaking prowess. She was smitten by my lovemaking prowess. Well, my wife is smitten by my lovemaking prowess, believe it or not. And you know what that means? Once you're done, it means fuck all. Vixter, thank you very much. Wow. In Thai baht, no less. Wow, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Choke D to you. And Choke D for your continued support. I really appreciate it. There we go. Allow me to continue, please. Why does he have to talk about his lovemaking prowess? Big fucking deal. Okay? I'm a great lay. Okay, well, I have said in the past, in order for a woman to want you, you need to have something. It could be a big schlong. It could be the gift of gab. It could be big money. It could be big muscles, and, they're really into that. It could be whatever it might be. Okay, but you got to have something. That might get you in the door. It might not keep them, though. Now, I don't care what kind of lovemaking prowess you have. You're still shacking up with some hooker for a year and a half. Her nickname for me was Hum Yai, or Big Penis. See, this is the kind of thing that I don't like to talk about. And there's a reason why. Because everybody thinks that they're the best, that their girls tell them this and tell them that. And for the most part, I would say, if it's coming from her as a bar girl, I don't know. It just seems to me it's like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ, man. Who cares? I'm surprised that, Well, it could have been, but let me continue, because, if a guy wants to be a dumbass and see, this is the thing to me. What do? I come online, I answer questions, I talk to people. This is my gig. This is my thing, right? This is what I do. It's like, I do it on a smaller scale than some people, but, this is my thing, right? I'm an American in Bangkok. It's my gig right now, at least for now, okay? Good morning, Carnivore. Hang on a second. Yeah. I stole my ex's wheelchair after she broke up with me. It's fun watching her come crawling back. Oh, you are a funny guy, aren't you? Where's my glasses? have been cleaning up. Yeah, they're up there. I don't feel like getting up. All right. At first, it was a novel experience being with a hot-looking bar girl and not paying for sex, but the situation has steadily become untenable these past 4 months or so. She is uber jealous and will throw tantrums when I go out with my male friends for a friendly drink. Totally unacceptable. This is what I wrote. This is totally unacceptable. She is jealous at this point of the so-called relationship. It is only going to get worse. Time to give her the boot. Because of her, I've lost my primary income source. My business is entertainment-oriented. Don't know what that means. And it necessitates that I go to various bars to talk to girls as well as patrons. This is impossible, since I'm under 24/7 surveillance and lockdown. Due to her veteran status, she has operatives everywhere who will report my whereabouts if I leave my room. Once she leaves for her shift at 6 p.m., Skynet is immediately activated. Now, here's the thing. I often say this. Be a fucking man. For some guy who's got such great lovemaking prowess and, oh my God, this beautiful girl wants me. If this is a true letter, you're a fucking simp. As simple as that. Oh, she's got the operatives. I gotta be careful what I do and where I go. She's gonna get angry. Then fucking tell her to get the hell out. What kind of dumbass are you? Really? What's happened to men? I'll tell you something. I've told the story about the Thai bar girl. This many years ago. When I first came here, I had not been here more than about 2 years. And what the hell was her name? Her name was Ta. Yeah, I'm always demonetized. Fuck, you know? That's why I earn like fucking 14 cents per stream. Unless you guys send a super chat, thankfully. That's about what I earn. I earn less than a guy at McDonald's. So maybe the hell's the word? The other thing is I can't remember half the time I can't remember what I want to say. Experience is not worth all that much. In Thailand, you don't lose the girl, only your place in the queue. Exactly. But what has happened to men where, like, really, honestly, this guy truly believes, oh my God, he's like scared. Because she's so aggressive. And if that's how you are not a real man. Now, you may be a troll, which also makes you not a real man, because you are wasting time. And time is the most valuable possession that you can have. Time is the only thing. You will never get it back. You can never pay for it to get that time back. It's gone. Once you're an old man, you're an old man. That young period of time, you pissed it away already. And if it took you 20 minutes to write the letter, guess what? You wasted 20 minutes of your fucking time, you moron. Now, if you're not, and you are truly being honest in this letter, then I would say you are a chowderhead and a simp, and you are not a real man. What I was going to say is I've talked about this girl, and I remember her name now. Her name was Ta. And, she was a nice-looking girl. Nice body, nice-looking girl. She had a tattoo on her arm, which I didn't like it. And I think it was a scorpion, which ought to tell you something. It wasn't, like a Tweety bird or something like that, or Hello Kitty. It wasn't something real feminine. Although I guess some females might go, what are you talking about? A scorpion's feminine. It can be feminine. Okay, whatever you say, honey. Believe what you want to believe. No, simp lives don't matter. Unless they want to convert over to being a non-simp. Anyway, I saw her. She is the girl who, out in front of Nana Plaza, there was a guy arguing with her, and she had a beer bottle in her hand, a Heineken bottle. I'll never forget it. She cracked him over the head with the beer bottle. Sliced his head wide open. He's bleeding all over the place. He had to get into a taxi and go to the hospital, and she just left, and I don't know what happened, but I'm going to assume nothing. She didn't go to jail, nothing happened, and that was the end of that. Now, I don't know. That's a good thing. Hey, thanks, Richard. I hope you're doing well. It's been a long time since I've seen Richard. Thank you very much, Choke D. Let me just see something here, because I don't know what they would call it in time. I'm trying to think. Puak Loi Thai. I don't know if that's right. Here, this is the one. Yeah, that's the only one that I see in the translation. Let me see on another page here. You know, they got all kinds of pages, and some of them have different definitions, and some of them give you the direct one, and some don't. But let's see here. No, it just goes to simple. Yeah, I don't know if they have a word for that. You know, Kongo is, you know, moron, idiot, nincompoop, fool, simpleton. Anyway, so this girl, one night I was out and we just had a couple drinks or whatever, and I said, hey, you want to come back? You know, you want to go back with me? Okay. And she went back, and you know, we just talked, and then, you know, things happen, as they often do between men and women. And so it ended up being like a, you know, like a 3-day gig. And when we were done, she asked for an exorbitant amount of money. And I mean exorbitant. Now, granted, this is almost 30 years ago. Right? This is like 27, 28 years ago. And, you know, I had said, you could go. Go ahead, go. But, like, you know, I was having fun, if you know what I mean. It was like a nonstop thing. You know how that happens. You shack up, you do your thing. And so she bridged up, and, you know, she was like, got in my face, and I opened the door, and I said, you need to leave right now. I'm not the guy you hit over the head with a beer bottle. Don't play with me, because I will do what I have to do to get you out of this room. And I gently guided her out of the room. She left, and you know that she came back to me, I don't know what it was, a week, 2 weeks, a month, something like that. She didn't come back to me, but I saw her later on, and she said, I'm really sorry about how I acted when I was with you. And I said, well, you know, it's okay, whatever. It's in the past. And that was the end of that. But I thought that that was interesting. And, you know, that's good, Knockers. That's pretty funny. And so I thought, you know, that's the difference. Now, this guy is living with her. I wasn't living with this chick. I just had a little fun with her. It was you know, that's the thing. Hey, you're working. I know that. And I give you the price, the reasonable price or whatever, right? And actually, the deal was that she didn't want anything. She just wanted to go back and hang out with me, and, you know, she just didn't want to go home, that kind of thing. Okay. Don't say what you don't mean. You know, what is it? Do what you say and say what you do and do what you say, or something like that. Anyway, let me continue here. This is impossible. I'm under 24 surveillance, blah, blah, blah. Once she leaves for the Skynet, okay. This woman is very violent and destructive, especially when she's drunk. Okay, well, what does that tell you? She drinks for a living, so this is frequent. It has become a nightly ordeal. I need to escape her, but want to do so without bloodshed. Mine. So then I wrote, what does this say? She's a whack job. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. As a result of my lost income source, I'm at subsistence level while this woman now supports me. Okay, so now, if this is true, this is where it comes, this is where the truth comes in, and this is why he isn't kicking her out, because he put himself in that position to where he's with some chick who wasn't good for him in the first place. You know, you're gonna, if you were some guy who comes here and you're going to the bars, you're gonna hear these sad stories, and they may be true. But why does that make you the guy who's got to go and take care of those problems? Are you married to her? Do you have a strong relationship with her? Have you been seeing her for 6 months, a year, 2 years? No. So then what the hell are you even thinking? I'm sorry, honey. We all got problems. I gotta go. I'm very sorry. I hope you work it out. Ta-ta. Chok di. Jack and my. Oh, God. I'm planning on moving from my apartment where she resides this coming August to escape the hell that I am in. I have a friend who's moving to Bangkok from the U.S., and we plan on sharing a 2-bedroom apartment together. My friend and I will be going into business together. The key is doing so. The key to doing so is separating me from this woman. Do you have any words of wisdom? Yeah, you shouldn't have let her move in the first place, or you shouldn't have moved in with her. Do you have any words of wisdom you can impart? Yeah, don't be a dumbass. Be a man, not a dumb shit. Think about yourself first. Think about yourself. How can I move away from this psychotic woman without incurring violence to myself? There may be others in similar situations, so if you read this on your channel as a dedicated subject, maybe others can be helped. Thank you for reading my message. Yeah. All right. Jesus Christ, I don't want to go through all this. Oh, he did write me back. Yeah, he, I don't think that this was, he wrote me like a, listen, if he truly was a troll, I don't think he would go through all the trouble. You never know. But, he wrote me, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, which is approximately 800 words, something like that, 1,000 words. But I wrote him and I said, I have a few questions. As I sense the urgency, I will give some quick advice and ask a few questions. For now, I'm not going to go anywhere near some of the mistakes you made, which the first mistake was, okay, let me move in with her, or let her move in with me, and she works at the G Spot, for instance. Is the apartment in your name or hers? If it is in yours, you need to get the apartment to stop her from entering. That's the first step, which you should be able to do. If it's in your name, just tell them you don't want her there anymore, and that's it. And she may pitch a fit once or twice, and it may not be pretty, but guess what? There is no 3-day rule. The third time is a strikeout. Well, this is the thing. So you have to be very careful, and this does kind of apply. What about the person? This lady, apparently, who's murdered all these people with cyanide, the reason she did so was because she owed them money. So not only did she owe them money and not pay them back, she killed them, and then she took their money. My wife showed me a picture of some girl that they were saying she killed. Very young, pretty girl. She had to be like 22. Your typical little 22-year-old bebopping around, cute. Guys are probably like walking around with woodies around the chick because she's, Anyway, do you have money to pay her off? Like 100 to 200,000 baht. I know this may sound like a hell of a lot, but if she's hot, she's probably going to make a nice chunk of change every month. So she's going to expect a decent payoff from you. That's how it works sometimes. You always pay. Sometimes it's financial, sometimes not. But in the end, the payoff is a common way of quickly eliminating the problem. If possible, pack your shit while she's at work and move elsewhere. Anywhere else. But do not let her or her operatives know where you are going. This is obviously imperative. Even if you have to shack up in some shithole guest house for a month, do it. If you must stay, remove any sharp items, bottles, etc. Basically anything she can use as a weapon. The less possibilities, the better, because it sounds like she will act first and think later. Which is she. Yes, some men act first and think later, of course. But guess who? This is something they do all the time. They act emotionally, and then they think later, and then they cry, and they beg forgiveness, or they go to jail. And that's women. If you must stay, the less. When bar girls drink, their issues tend to make them volatile. Good morning, Michael. So you definitely have reason to worry. If It might not hurt to go to the Lumpini police station before anything happens, just in case. If the police have a report on file demonstrating your concern in her violent nature, this might help you later on. Believe me, it's worth taking the time to do so. But again, do whatever you have to do to escape. A motorcycle is best, easier to disappear. If she goes crazy and attacks you with a weapon, do not hesitate to stop her. I'm not going to get into that because I know that that's going to rub people the wrong way to some of the things that I said. But if she's got a weapon, gloves are off. That's what I'm going to say. Many bar girls tend to be fueled by alcohol and bitterness. Once you are out, do not see her again. If for some reason you communicate with her, do so via text, and then ban her, block her. Puts as much space between you and her for as long as possible. This means you will need to stop going to the bars, at least temporarily. I went out for, let me see here. Okay, this is another instance. You have to, minimum rules, boundaries, and limitations. Yeah, they're like a dog. Caesar Mallon, the dog whisperer. Some things apply across the board. I'm not saying women are dogs, or men are dogs. Men can be dogs when it comes to the sex thing, of course. But I once went out with a smoking hot go-go dancer from Nana for a few weeks, and she slowly began moving in her stuff, clothes, shoes, shampoo, anything she could. She was doing the George Costanza. She would leave things behind. Accidentally. Oh, I left my shoes at your place. Can I come and get them? Yeah. Then, we'd have a little fun, and the next thing you know, there was like 3 pairs of panties in one of my drawers, and her shoes are still there. I wasn't paying her, and I admit at first it was nice. She stayed with me every night. Once in a while, I paid her bar fine, but I got the distinct feeling she was marking her territory and setting the trap. Kind of like a dog. It just didn't feel right. I decided to tell her that I didn't want to continue seeing her. The thing between you and I isn't going to work. You need to get your stuff and take it home. Short and sweet. She went berserk, screaming, yelling, getting in my face, and calling me every name in the book. Why any woman would go nuts over me is a mystery, but I remained calm, kept my side of the conversation civil, and said as little as possible. After a few minutes, she began picking up her possessions and stuffing them in her oversized purse, stomping around, mumbling to herself. I still remember this. I sat down and turned on the TV, watching her out of the corner of my eye. A few months later, I ran into one of her friends. She told me the girl understood why I split up with her, but she was happy I finished with her the way I did. Because I gave her... I gave her some respect on the, I left her with some integrity. It was like, I'm sorry, it ain't working out, but you gotta go, And, I'm probably being nicer to her than I'm acting online here. So, I'll just say Scott's demonetized. Yeah, there you go. Would it be inappropriate to ask a bar girl how much is sin sod? Yes. I did ask how much it would be for, I think it was, who did I ask? Was it Preo or was it beer or something? I think it was Preo. I think I asked her and she said it was like 400,000 or 500,000 baht or something. I told you guys a while back that I said this to her. I asked her, I was like, I'm just curious, if nowadays would you want to, do you require that? And she said, oh yeah, I'd have to because of my parents and out of respect for them. And I was like, yeah, okay. All right, let me continue. I'm gonna go. Let me see if I can find a shorter one because I think this one is kind of short. Yeah, this one's kind of short, sorta. It's a lot shorter than that one. I could have read on for pages and pages and pages. Yeah, if you wanna, I know you're joking, Gennaro, but if you were to do that, I can guarantee you, if you were willing to show them the money, they would marry you. And this is the one thing. Some of the girls, they know that there's a certain way to treat men. They're brought up that way. They're not brought up that way in the States. They're brought up to be independent women and have jobs. Okay, great. That's great. It's okay to have a job. I understand you want to have a purpose in your life other than some man who may or may not treat you well. But you need to make sure that you keep it all in context, because guess what? It doesn't matter if she's working, not working. It doesn't matter her job. That doesn't matter, because once she pops out a kid, guess who's number one? The kid. The kid needs milk. The kid shit his pants. You know, the kid went pee-pee all over my plate of noodles. I mean, you know, these things happen, and then, you know, guess what? You're sitting there, you're going, what happened to, you know, us rolling around on the sofa all day long every day? That ain't gonna happen because she's got the little papoose. You wouldn't be leaving with them, Gennaro. Okay, let me read this one. This is Mr. Tommy. Oh, Tommy. But she works in a dental clinic. Doesn't mean she can't be a ruthless, filthy whore. She could be a wonderful woman, but just because she works in a bar doesn't mean she's not a wonderful person. All right. Hi, Scott. My name is Tommy, and guess where I come from? Sweden. So you know how this is going to go. Isn't Sweden the land of simps? No offense to all the Swedish guys out there, but, you know, the Scandinavians, it seems like, you know, they want to give women a lot of power. I have traveled to Thailand for 2 months every winter for the past 12 years. I've only met bar girls. Well, there's your first mistake. But the last 2 trips, I've been with a girl who has a normal job. She works at a dental clinic in Pattaya. I thought this is a Thai girl that loves me for who I am and not for my money. You know, the other day Jim said something about but yesterday. Yeah, I think every girl's up for grabs. And I know he didn't mean every single girl. But here's the thing. In order to find a Thai girl who really loves you, you're going to need, the money is part of the package. And you don't have to have huge money, but you better have something else. You better have a way about you that she just can't resist. You better have a big Schwanzenheimer. You better have great prowess between the sheets. You better know how to talk to her. You better have something coming to you. Whatever it is, she's got to respect you for something. Anyway, allow me to proceed. I thought this is a Thai girl who loves me for me and not for my money. During the first 2 years, I traveled to Thailand and got to know her. She never asked for money. I went home in March after a 3-month stay, and everything felt so good. Then afterwards, we talked every day on the phone for nearly 2 years. It was then I decided to send money to her. Now, I gotta say, looking back to the times when I would make these phone calls to girls, and I'd talk to them on the phone for an hour or two. Stupid. Not good. Now, if she's overseas, and she probably doesn't speak great English, and you, as a Swede, English is not your first language, I don't know why you would be calling her every single day. Guess what? If she wants you, when you come back, she'll have you. If she doesn't, if she truly loves you, you know. Then afterwards, we talked every day on the phone for nearly 2 years. It was then I decided to send her money. My first, this is me responding, I put, why? She has a job and earns what most Thais consider to be a decent wage for a single woman. Talking on the phone is different from physically spending time with a person. I firmly believe that. She has a job, and unless they were engaged to be married, which means he should be able to trust her, there was no reason to start sending her money. That was idiotic, in my opinion. She never asked me for money, but I thought I'd be a nice guy. I thought I'd really lock her in and tell her, hey, here's some money, honey. No, you know how you lock her in? You be you. And if that ain't good enough, And, maybe when you give her the, you give her the piston, the love piston, maybe you make sure you do an extra good job so that, she's laying there a quivering mass of flesh and she's wondering, oh my God, how did I ever do without this guy before? The problem is a lot of guys, first of all, aren't able to do that because they don't know how, or they're not physically capable, or whatever it might be. And they've never had women, they don't have the experience. So that's, what woman wants to have sex with a guy if he's not doing the job right? How often do you think that she's going to be going, oh, I got to have it, even though it's all for you? No. All right. Again, I digress. Ugh. I remember when I said I would start sending money to her, she was crying so much, and she said she loved me more than her life. So the money is worth more than her life. I gotta laugh. All right, so what did I write? The long wait finally paid off. Stop sending her money and see how fast she changes her tune. All right, so he sends her money for a month or two. Honey, I send you some money because I want to be good to you. I want you happy. Oh. And then after 2 months, you go, listen, I'm trying to get over to Thailand so I can see you. I don't have that much money. I can't keep sending you money. See what she does then. If her tune changes when you call her up, she's like, hello. Or she's like, hi, honey. In our talk, she told me about a Thai guy who had beaten her, and now she hates Thai guys and will never be with one. Horse shit. Okay, I feel for her. However, if an American man beats an American woman, will the woman swear off American men and only date foreigners? I doubt it. So, I'm sorry. Whenever the Thai woman goes, oh, Thai man no good. No, it's the Thai men that you want don't want you. That's what it is. So they're no good in your eyes. It's typical. If you look at it, some of the ways that they talk about men parallels how American women talk about American men. Or, I don't know about Australian women and European. I don't know that much about them. But, you hear these girls, oh, this guy was terrible. He was so bad. Then why'd you pick him? He was your guy for 4 years. You stayed with the guy for 4 or 5 years. What was so bad about him? Oh, I couldn't stand him. He was an asshole. Then why'd you pick him and why'd you stay with him? Why were you with him 5 years? Horse shit. Horse shit. That's what it is. All right. Every day she went to Big C in Pattaya to eat food on her lunch break. I asked her why would she travel 15 minutes by motorbike taxi every day from her job just to eat, and her answer was that the food is good there. Then I start to think, well, it's about fucking time. Another idiot. He doesn't see the sign. Well, if she went one day, listen, I went and met my girlfriend there. I had to have I wanted to have food with her. I haven't seen her in a while. And once in a while you could understand it, but every day, sorry, I don't understand you. It's about time. The one constant with most of the men who write me is they fail to see or flat out disregard the blatant warning signs because they don't want to. Because guess what? As long as they keep getting their willy wet, that's all that matters to them. It doesn't matter how good she is, how nice she is. I mean, look, remember the guy, what the hell was, I don't even remember his name right now off the top of my head, but he was the guy, nice guy. I mean, a bit outdated. But he came into Starbucks and everybody was telling me, oh, get rid of this guy, boot him out, kick his ass, smack him. They're telling me to do all these things because he didn't get it. He was giving some Thai chicken Pattaya 80,000 baht a month and she didn't even want to fucking clean his house. She didn't want to clean his room. She didn't want to do him. No. I'm too busy. I go with my friend. There used to be a guy down in the south, and I think he might be Norwegian or he might be Sweden. I don't remember, but he was down in southern Thailand. He still lives there. Nice guy. He used to call me for advice all the time. And now he's got some Vietnamese chick who's a good-looking chick, and I guess she's a good woman. I don't know. But he used to have, he'd have a couple girls here and there. He'd bring one in, and he'd go, I want her to live with me, but she won't clean my room, and I told her, you should go to school. I don't want to go to school. I want to hang out with my friends and go shopping. Well, then get the fuck out. Out! Bye! See you later, baby! It's been fun. And this is the thing, guys don't want to walk away. All right, let me continue. Now, this is me speaking here in the book. There are usually restaurants or food stalls on the premises or within walking distance, and most working Thai women opt to take their lunch close to their office. I know my wife does, and I know she brings her own goddamn lunch a lot of the time. Her story might be understandable if there were no places to eat near her office. If every so often she needed a few items from Big C or wanted to meet a friend for lunch, then this is also understandable. Spending half her allotted time traveling back and forth to Big C because the food is good is highly unlikely. So then he writes, she admitted many foreign men go to Big C. This is her mistake. Why would you say that to your guy that you're a fucking idiot? Idiots. That's the only way I know how to describe it. I don't know any other way to put it, so I'm just being me. I'm speaking from the cuff. Off the cuff. She admitted many foreign men go to Big C, and often they came up to talk with her. Her story was that she would always tell them she has a boyfriend. Yeah, okay. If they're single, they're looking for the biggest and the best deal. If they're hooked up, they're worried about losing the deal they have, but they're still looking for the bigger, better deal, depending on the woman. You know, of course, there's some great Thai women out here that would never even dream of doing anything, or it would take them a lot to do something. And, that I would say there's a fair number of Thai women that are pretty damn good. But what I always say is don't go to Pattaya for your future wife, because she'll be your future ex-wife. Her story was that she would tell them she has a boyfriend. We talked on Skype and Line every day, but suddenly she started using new apps that she wanted me to use. This chick isn't very smart. When I asked her who told her about these apps, she said her friends recommended them to her. Oh yeah, that's because the guy she's with probably doesn't have enough money and they want her to get a doctor or something. And so she's looking around for, the bigger, better deal. Can you see where this is headed? That's me. Then in August, my friend's girlfriend saw her with a young Farang at Big C. She saw my friend's girlfriend and told her the man was only a friend she had just met and she was helping him with something. Listen, I can tell you that after being here for almost 30 years, Thai women can be very helpful, and they will help you. They will, if you ask them for help, they will actually walk to a place to show you where it is. They will talk to you for a few minutes and 4 or 5 minutes. And then if you were like to say, hey, what's your name? Thank you so much, honey. And that kind of thing. And you were like, gosh, you're really pretty. Do you have a girlfriend? You might be able to weasel your way in there. So it can happen that guys do that. I mean, of course it can happen, right? But if a girl is doing that, and she's doing it with, there's all kinds of guys coming up to her, if she's really that hot, you better have it locked down, man. You better have it locked down tight. You better have something special going on. And this, I mean, come on. I go there 2 months every year, and you don't know shit, buddy. I hate to tell you that, but you don't know shit. You don't know what she's doing. You can't, I talk to her every day. Even if you talk to her 2 hours every day, guess what? She's got another 22 hours in the day. Simple as that. All right, where am I at here? Where am I here? Okay. Isn't she just the sweetest thing? I bet she wanted to make sure his pipes were thoroughly clean. She's looking for a bigger, better deal. Well, there you go. So then he says, I called her and asked if she wanted to tell me something. She did not know that my friend's girl had already told me she saw her with a foreigner at Big C. Then when I told her what I knew, she said, yes, I was helping a man, and then I went home. This was in August, and this is the month I stopped talking to her. Then she sent me an email and told me everything. Put in the time, make it a slow process, and eventually they will reveal their hand for better or worse. They cannot continue and do this for lengthy periods of time because it's not in their nature. They just want to lock it down as quickly as possible. She met 5 different men after I went back home, but she didn't have sex with them. She said they only met as friends. Gullible sap. That's what I said. The last man she met was Belgian, and he is coming back to see her in January. She told me she only met him once to help him with a problem he had with the Thai police. Oh, she's just such a helpful, wonderful dental assistant. Is that what she is? Dental assistant? Yeah, she must be a dental assistant or, you know, one of the little counter girls who rings people up and that kind of shit. Yes, there is a Triangle Bar in Pattaya, and we went by it the other day. She sure is a helpful gal. Thai women are nice, but she's exceptional. Well, thank you, Mr. Tokyo Sam. Very nice of you to join me. Hope you are doing well there. Let me see here. She sure is a helpful guy. Thai women are nice, but she's exceptional. That's me speaking. Then he says, fucking bullshit. Why would this man you helped and only saw once book a ticket to come see you again? Because he wants a piece of ass. That's why. Have you read all the books in the background? Which one did you like a lot? Yes, I haven't read all of them. I've read about 90%, 95% of them. And I like The Lower River. I like all of the Bukowski books. I like The Alchemist. That was all right. It wasn't great, but what else? Yeah. Yeah, I like what's that guy's name? Carl Hyacin. He's a guy from, he used to write with the Miami Herald. I don't know if he still does. But he wrote with the Miami Herald, but he was, for a long time, which is where I originally heard his name. And then my mother or my sister said, oh, have you ever tried? You might like his books. It's kind of your style, except he doesn't swear that much. The same with Bukowski, except Bukowski swears profusely. So you have to be very direct with women. That's the best way to be direct. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I would do that. The truth is, women want you to be the star of the show, not the other way around. The sooner you figure that out, the better you will be. Huge Bukowski fan, too. Ha ha ha, especially women. Oh my God. I mean, I wrote some stuff in my book, in this book, They Call Me Farang, about sex with women. And my wife, she gave a copy, well, she sold or gave, I don't know what the hell happened. But anyway, people at her job, probably a half a dozen people read the book, and they were like, oh my God. They loved it, but they were like, oh my God. For my books, yes, I do. I thought it was up in the description. Maybe not. It's on my website. Let me see here. But yeah, she gave them to her coworkers, and her coworkers read it. And then she goes, "What's this right here that you wrote?" And I go, "Well, you know, some of it's true, and some of it is, exaggerated slightly. You know, not all that much sometimes, but you know." All right, let me see if I can put it up here. This is on the. I think this is on my website. Well, if you go to my website and in AmericanInBangkok.com and you go to shop, there's a section that says books, and you can get both books there. They're both on there. And then if you go into Amazon, you just type in my name, and it'll come up. And I think I've been in like one or two other books, but they were like compilations that I don't think I got. I think the one book I got something for it, but I don't remember. It's been a long time for that book. It's like a martial arts book. Anyway, let me continue here with this story. Okay. Why would this man you helped and only saw once buy a new ticket to come and see you? Then she copied a conversation she had with this man where she told him she loved me. He told her she is stupid. Then I asked her, hey, if you only met this man once, how come he writes you all the time and spent all this money on a ticket to come see you? The answers are all there. He simply wants to believe that maybe, just maybe, he's wrong and as good, and she's as good as he wants her to be. Maybe his girl is different. Yeah, okay. Yeah, my girl's different. Yeah, right. You know, the bodies are different. Some are large, some are small, some are tight, some are not. But they, I don't know if books are available, but my books, I don't believe my books are on Lazada. If you use Nightbot, people can. I used to do that, but I'm on my phone right now, so I mean I can still use it, I think, but it takes 5 minutes to set it up. Check it out later. Hell yeah, there's a live streamer called Suspend Us. He is seriously talking about marrying a working girl he met after a week there. Great stuff to comment on. Okay, that's yeah. I might maybe I have to do a little. What do they call them? Reaction video. Maybe I have to do that because I'm going to take it that he's not that old. Here he is right here. Oh, God. Oh, my Lord. I want to find... Where's the link? Is there a link on here where he's got the, you know, I'm going to marry this bar girl chick? Because I'd love to. Mate has that t-shirt, she's different. I should make a shirt that says, hey, dummies, wake the fuck up, she's not different. You know, every man wants the same thing. You know, well, and I say every man, and again, I have to preface this because of all the dumb fucks out there. I don't mean every single male person in the world, but I mean a majority of men. What they want is sex. They want good sex. They want a woman who's loyal to them. They want a woman who makes sure that actually cares about them, cares about their needs and that kind of stuff. And, you know, I think that's important. And for all the guys that say, oh, no, I never want to get married, there's a reason why they don't want to get married. And I think it has a lot to do with what I hear goes on in the United States. And of course, not every woman is the same in the United States. However, most of them, they want the same things, just like men want the same things. You can't fault them for wanting a good-looking guy and all that. But then when, like I said yesterday, you get some pig who weighs in at 250, and she thinks because she puts some makeup on and she puts lipstick on the pig, that the pig is no longer a pig, and she's a beauty queen. And that she's going to get some guy who's worth $14 million. He plays in the NFL. Most of the time, that doesn't happen. If they're with a pig, it's because they started out and the woman was beautiful and she ate her way into pigdom. And, you know, if he's got that much money, then he's got to get her a personal trainer. Okay, Scott and all, got to go out while the going's good. Thank yous for the stream. You're welcome, Download. Thank you. All right, let me continue here. If you give me a link to that, to where he's saying that he's seriously talking about marrying a working girl, I will comment on it. I see his channel, but I don't really see. I don't see a whole lot here about, you know, women. Oh, and he saved somebody. I do see that. What does it say? He saved Joel from the train. Well, maybe he needs to save himself from some fucking some Japanese chick who was just gonna take him to the cleaners and take every penny out of his bank account, like a Chinese chick who took the guy who had the 100,000 in the. Thanks, Sammy. He took the guy's 100,000. That's a true story. And this was a young guy. He was about 25 at the time. I was a little bit older. I was in my early 30s, I believe. And my girl ate her way to pigdom. You know, the thing is if the chicks just said, hey, listen, I admit it. I used to be skinny and so beautiful and sexy, but now I ate my way to pigdom. I love food too much. And if the thing is it's different for men and women. You know why? Because men are valuing their beauty and their sexiness. Women, hey, like I said, if you've got a big schlong, look at Ron Jeremy. I mean, now he's in a bad way now. I don't know what's going on with the guy now. But, you know, I think he got charged with murder or something. But, you know, a guy had a hog on him the size of a freaking water bottle. Well, there's always going to be chicks that go, I don't care that he's got a freaking huge gut and he's hairy and he's like a, what do they call him? The porcupine or something like that. They don't care because they want the big schlong. If you got big money, then they want that, you know. I mean, so their motivations are different. I mean, I believe that to be true. And guys have different motivations as well. The hedgehog. Oh, okay, that's what it was, yeah. Oh, my God. She's obviously a working girl. Some guys say just don't want to believe it. No. And what's so funny is I remember baby's arm holding an apple. Yeah, exactly. I remember going into Hard Rock Cafe in, what was it? It's near Mallon. What's the hell's that? Siam Square. I went in there. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm in there. Woo! Yeah, baby. Oh, look at all these beautiful girls. I'm like, man, there's no way that one's a whore. Oh, no way. Can you hear this? Freaking political vans driving by now. Well, most of them probably don't know what a taper is. But these political vans are going by and they're, you know, well, vote for this guy. Oh, this guy is, he wants to change the world. And I'm like, I'm ready to go out. Listen, get the fuck out. I really want to yell at him, but, you know, you can't. I want to go, get out of my fucking village and stop. It's my village, too. I live here. I don't want to hear this shit. Oh, but we have to tell people all about... No, you don't. Nobody gives a fuck. Because you're all a bunch of crooks. Anyway. I don't want you to think I'm in a bad mood, because I'm not. All right, let me finish this one up, because it's almost done. The answers are all there. He simply wants to believe... Yeah, okay, maybe she's different. My question to you, Scott, is what type of girl is this? She's one that, she's not very smart, but she's a lot smarter than you. She has a good job with a good salary. She makes 15,000 baht every month. Now, this was many years ago, so maybe now she's making 20. That ain't that much. That's peanuts. Think about it. That's, you know, it's shit money. Honestly, 15,000 is not that good. That's like minimum fucking wage. She's a counter girl. She's not a dental assistant. I can guarantee you that. She's just sitting there, you know, taking in the patients and step on the scale. You know, she's probably not even doing that because she's not a nurse. If she was a nurse, she'd be making considerably more. Because I know a couple of nurses, and I've talked to them extensively, and they make a hell of a lot more than 15,000, even 25,000. Some of them are making, you know, some of those nurses they're in senior positions are making a shitload of money for here in Thailand, and really they're making a decent wage and more than a lot of guys are who come here. She said she hates Thai men and will never touch or fuck one. She has a silver ring on her finger with some Thai letters. I think she might have a Thai boyfriend, but when I came to Thailand, her phone never rings and she never receives any messages. Maybe because that's her second phone that you're looking at. Maybe she has another telephone for other Farang, or she calls them when she works. Maybe. Scott, I am not stupid. Could have fooled me. Stupid decisions. Let's put it that way. For sure, I understand in my head that she has many other men and makes them send money to her, but I hate myself for trusting this girl. Well, what does that tell you right there, buddy? You hate yourself? Listen, I don't hate myself for being married. I love myself for being married. It's the best fucking thing I ever did in my life. I made a lot of stupid decisions, but marrying my wife wasn't one of them. You know, having kids with her wasn't one of them. She's a great mother. She's good to me, man. You know, if I start getting irritable and there's something I need taken care of because I don't want to do it, boom, you know, she's there for me. And I'm there for her. You know, so I think, you know. Anyway, let's see here. I don't think she's a bar girl. Well, I mean, that's easily verified. And the last time I spoke with her, she swore she didn't do anything with these men. I almost believe her. Yeah, well, there you go. You don't think she'll lie? Honestly. Oh, you know, I met this guy and I was so helpful. And then I met this other guy and he had a problem with the police, so I decided to help him. It's all bullshit. She's full of shit. And if she works at a dental office, I can guarantee you that she's the lowest on the totem pole there. She ain't making shit. So she wants to supplement that income, and she's in Pattaya. What do I always say? Unless you really are in the know or you live there, if you're a Pattaya Bob, if you're one of my photographer buddies, if you're, you know, one of these other guys, if you know what to expect when you're there and you know how to conduct yourself, okay, have your fun, do whatever, and, you know, proceed cautiously. Proceed with caution. But if you're a knucklehead like this guy and you're willing to believe her, well then, you know, there's no hope. You're a no-hoper. I almost believe her. But he's not stupid. He's different, and it's all the other guys who are clueless. He is a chowderhead, and he desperately wants to believe her. She said she only met this man from Belgium once, and I believed her until I saw the conversation between them. I changed my Swedish phone number and blocked her everywhere so she can't contact me. But I still think in my head, Scott, maybe she speaks the truth. How fucking stupid am I? Well, I'm not reading from the book, but listen, if you feel that strongly and you see there are all these signs here, why don't you wake the fuck up and go, what am I doing? Maybe I don't need this chick. Maybe she needs me more than I need her. You need to have some value yourself in order to, I mean, really. Is it that bad, guys? Is it that bad? Oh, I'm not worth anything, so I'm just going to take any freaking slut that wants to open her legs for me, even if she does work at a dental. Oh, she works at a dental office. She's a good girl. Hey, thanks, Carnivore Chronicles. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Choke D. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta figure one thing at a time. Sorry, Richard. I gotta figure out about this Hard Rock Cafe. I went to the Hard Rock Cafe. I'm looking around. I'm like, man, lots of girls, and they're talking to me. A lot of them speaking English. I'm like, wow, this is great. Now, granted, I don't think it's there anymore. But there used to be the place. What was it? Not Spazzo's. CM2. It used to be right down below. There's a hotel there. I can't remember the name of it. My memory is shit. But anyway, there was a bar there. And that's a little area where you can go and have a nice meal. You can do all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I decided to go into the Hard Rock. Now, I'm thinking to myself, none of these chicks are, they're not on the game. And then, as the evening wound down, I met up with a friendly young lady, and she asked if I'd like her to accompany me. Of course, being the gentleman that I am, I said, I would love that. I'd really like to get to know you. I said, where would you like to go? Oh, let's go back to your room. I thought, oh, hey, she's getting right into it. Now, I did not even think, I had only been here maybe a year. My Thai was not that good. Still ain't great, but, it was not that good. It was passable. I could, carry on. She goes back with me. We do our thing. And I don't even remember, you know. I mean, listen, after a while you forget, was it any good, not good, what was she like? I don't even remember what she looked like. I don't remember her name. I remember nothing. It's a long time ago. As she's walking out the door, she goes, you give me money? I said, what? You're a whore? I said something like that. You working? Oh, I thought you wanted to come with me. And I ended up giving her some cash. But like, I was like, what the fuck? I'm in the Hard Rock, and then it dawned on me, oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is kind of confirmation of what Jim said yesterday. Well, maybe all of them are up for grabs. Now, some of them might not be because they got boyfriends and they're in good situations or good relationships and they don't want to ruin it, and they don't want to be that way. They don't want to be a chick who just goes and opens her legs for money. They want to open their legs because they want the guy. They actually really want it. They're horny, whatever it might be. But I continued to go there every once in a while. And it was funny because once I started getting a little more in tune with the whole scene, I realized, oh, that girl, she works at this go-go bar in Nana. Oh, that one, I saw her at Soy Cowboy. Oh, that one, I don't remember where I know her from, but I remember. And then I started going, all right, half the people in here, half the girls in here are straight up working girls. The rest of them, I don't know. Some of them may not, some of them may. And then there was a time, a long time ago, that I knew a bunch of girls from a particular bar in Clinton Plaza. And I had been having I had some relations with them, if you know what I mean. And so one day I decided, listen, if you girls want to go out, we'll go to the Hard Rock. We'll have some food. We'll have a good time. I just wanted to go out with a couple of chicks. I said, all right, let's go. They said, yeah, okay. We go out. I'm sitting with them, and people are just staring. I got them both, like, they're very friendly with me, a little bit affectionate, but they're doing the whole feeding each other, feeding me, and all that kind of stuff. I'm sitting there and this guy comes up to me and he goes, how much did you pay for them? He wanted to know how much I paid for them. And what was funny was that although I admit it, I had paid in the past, I just said to him, I'll take you out. We got absolutely hammered, and I probably spent 10,000 baht that night. Went back, had my way with them. They had their way with me. They seduced me. I don't know how, but they seduced me. And I was absolutely hungover, smashed, and so were they. But they had to go somewhere, and it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3. It was in the afternoon. They just left. I didn't give them a dime. And I thought, well, for the amount of money I spent last night, it's good I didn't have to pay. So, if you go to the Hard Rock, now, if you go in the early afternoon, like for lunch, it's not going to be full of working girls. If you go late at night or you go at night, there's going to be more there. It's still the same. All right, let me read some of these questions here. Didn't mean to drag that on. Several years ago, I was listening to a rock station in Las Vegas. Jeremy did an ad. When I'm in Vegas, I rotate my knob to XYZ rock station radio knob. All right, let me finish this up so we can finish the stream up. Shit, what time is it? Oh, it's almost time for my yoga class. I go to yoga today. Okay. He blocked her. How fucking stupid am I? That's what he asked me. So, which is it? Is he stupid or is he not stupid? That's what I said. Personally, I think he's an idiot, and this relationship has way, way too much drama. That's the one thing. If you get anything out of this long, drawn-out story, understand that if there is drama right in the beginning, forget about it. Big drama, I mean, if it's like a traumatic injury happens to somebody in her family and it's legit, or it happens to her, okay, that's different. But I'm talking about, if right away there's drama. Oh, my old boyfriend, he no good, he do that. Mama, she had big problem, Buffalo died yesterday. Fuck me, you need that shit in your life? Life's hard enough without that. You need a chick who adds, not subtracts. There's another shirt. Does she add or subtract? So he writes me, in January I'll go to Thailand again, but I promised myself I would not contact this girl. It is better for me to go to a real bar girl than a fake bar girl. Duh. Thanks for reading this, and I hope you will answer. Okay, well, I did. Hi, Tommy. Thanks for writing. This is one reason I say not to hook up with any women in Pattaya. The city is a whore town. I still believe that. And damn near all of the girls, it's all about money, 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 money. And, that's part of the equation. But if it's everything, for some guys, it's not the right fit. They don't want some chick going, Papa, I need, give me 10,000 baht so I go shopping today. That's not what they want. The city is a whore town, and even the so-called good girls or girls with mainstream jobs learn quickly. Foreigners give them many options. If they're decent looking, they can take their pick from men and make easy money. From what you have told me, she has demonstrated the type of woman she is. I wouldn't give her a second chance. Her version of love is much, this is the thing, her version of love is much different from yours. And that is something you have to consider when you come here. Your version of love may be much different than theirs, and it's never going to change. She met 5 men behind your back, and while she claims she did not have sex with them, you will always wonder if she is telling the truth. Cut her loose and forget her. Sometimes it takes going through several women before you meet a truly good one. So he wrote, thank you. I've learned my lesson. Rule number 4, never fall in love in Pattaya. Well, what about rule number 1? Do not get emotionally involved with a bar girl. Yes, of course, she learned from other girls why she does not need to work hard every day. Better to get some farang to give her money. It's not even about farang. Better to get a man to give her money. I don't know where to look for a good Thai lady, and now I don't believe there are many out there for me. Well, that would be stupid to think, because you went with one chick who happened to be, a little shady or a little bit, underhanded. Now you don't want any of them. Be a man up and go, big fucking deal. It makes no difference to me. On to the next one. And if you remember, that's what I told one of the girls who used to work at Starbucks who was crying to me about, oh, my boyfriend. I said, first of all, go talk to your girlfriends about that shit. I'm not the guy to talk to, because all I'm going to tell you is on to the next one. Move on and pick better. Choose better. Think better. Use your brain. Take care, and I hope to meet you in Bangkok someday. I'll buy you a beer and thank you for your advice. Well, he never did. Final thoughts. Hopefully he learned his lesson. Tommy is another example of a man. Now, the names have been changed, okay, to protect the dumb. He's another example of a man blinded by the power of exotic love and sex and the all-powerful triangle. The writing was on the wall, the red flags are everywhere, and yet he is willing to allow this woman into his life. That's the thing. Are you really willing to allow some chick like this into your life? She's a fucking chaotic mess. Here's what I wrote. She's an untrustworthy pain in the ass, nothing more. So what would I have done? If I felt like it, I would have screwed her, gave her a few bucks, and never believed a word she said. Once back in Sweden, where Tommy hails from, I would not send her any money. If Tommy did this, at the very least, she might respect him. Not that this really matters. No sweet talk, no I love you, honey, no long talks on Skype. She deserved nothing more than a phone call or message to set up a roll in the sack. Once tired of her body, say goodbye and never speak with her or see her again. These are the cold, hard facts. To some, it might sound, wow. And, that's what I just said. Now, here's what I wrote, and I didn't look at it. To some, it might sound cold-hearted, but the truth is he owes her absolutely nothing. There you go. I got to read one of these like every single time. Just keep recycling them. Because there's the good one right afterwards, and I don't want to continue. Anyway. Yeah, that was a happy ending. He didn't get taken for it, but he pissed her. Here's the thing. Stop pissing your time away. Stop wasting your precious ass time, because it is precious. start acting like your time is precious. How does she deserve you to spend time with her? Took was a dental assistant before returning to university to develop a career as a health officer. Now I have reservations that all Thai dental assistants cannot be trusted. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. Honestly, but you know, she's in Pattaya. If she's good looking, you might as well just understand that there are going to be guys there that are always after her. Doesn't matter what she's doing. Doesn't matter if she's in a bank. You know, we went into the bank, you know, the other day, Pattaya Bob and I, and the girl helping us, she was a nice looking girl. Now she's a little older. She's probably 35, something like that. She's a nice looking girl, and I'm sure she gets hit on all the time. All the time. So, you know, if you're in Bangkok, the chances are the majority of people that they're dealing with are Thais, not foreigners. But if they're in Pattaya, there's a lot more foreigners in a small area, and the girls, you know, that coconut telegram system, they learned very quickly that, yeah, they learned quickly. They learned very quickly that there's no need to worry, because if they are good looking, or I mean, they don't even have to be good looking. They could be chubby with huge tits, and some guys can be like, "Oh my God," because guys are idiots. I understand it. You know, it's like, hey, they want to get her in, get it in there. You know, but why not opt for quality? You know, as opposed to quantity. Anyway, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That is all. Yeah, that's all. That was a fun stream. Anyway, thanks so much, everyone. Thanks to all the people who contributed, as always. Choke D to you. Choke D. And I guess I will see you all later, probably tomorrow. You know, who knows? I never know. But, you know, it is the daily Mallon. I feel obligated. I feel obligated to be here every day, like a true professional. Like a true professional. Thank you for the classic Scott Mallon's eating her way to pigdom, and does she add or subtract? Hey, yeah, those, I don't know where those came from, but you know, every once in a while I come out with a little nugget of gold. So anyway, leave a thumbs up, please, if you don't mind doing so. Join the channel. That always helps, because now I'm working a lot more hours here on this little thing that I'm doing, whatever that may be. And just check the description. Go to my website at americaninbangkok.com. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I would appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow.